Guys, welcome back to the Fasterproms YouTube channel. We're so glad to have you with us. Thanks for joining in. We're so glad that you're interested in this S10 project. I mean, the support that you guys have given is absolutely unbelievable, and we really do listen to a lot of the stuff that's in the comments, whether we agree with it or not. So thank you guys so much for giving your input on that. I might actually get my mind changed for me in the fact that we might put the bed in the back. But there's going to be a lot of engineering stuff involved in order to make that work. So thank you guys so much for all that. And in this month of August, we will be randomly selecting 2 winners of an MPVI-2 from HP Tuners. Now that is the software that I use day in and day out in order to tune all the cars that I do. So in this month of August, we are selecting 2 random winners. Now we will be selecting them from Fasterproms purchases. So guys, check that out. We've got a lot of neat merch, and we thank you guys so much for all the support. We wouldn't be able to do what we do and bring the information that we bring without your support. So again, thank you guys so much for all that. Let's get to the video.
Oh, that's a nice shirt you got on right there. That's got an LT powered engine in it. Hell yeah. So George, freaking banging job right there. Looks so much better. I was inside. Wish I could have been out here watching you actually do it and all that, but man, night and day difference. Freaking awesome.
It's not perfect, but you know.
Hey, we're getting there. Hey, the truck ain't gonna be perfect. It's gonna be a little rough around the edges, but hey, you know, we're gonna have a hell of a lot of fun with it. Look at those mounts too, man. So we gotta do the shelf today on the rear mount right there, coming right up. Oh yeah, man. She looks so much better. There were so many people commenting on, why don't you do the frame? Guys, we were on a ridiculously tight time frame crunch there. The guys from JSM were down and everything just got slammed together. So this is pretty much probably our last little bit of time that we have to be able to do this. We got some stuff coming where we're not gonna be able to get at this anymore. So glad it got done. Dude, that whole shelf idea is so freaking brilliant. I love it. So those right there are the shelves that I'm referring to. Oh man, that looks good. Dude, that motor plate, like you whittled off, it's probably like, I don't know, half the size of what it was. Oh, I bet. Yeah. No! It's for necessity.
How much do you think it weighs?
28 pounds.
28?
28. Maybe more, maybe more. All right, so we'll weigh that in just a minute. But we're doing that for the fuel cell. I was just thinking about that, and we were like, hey, maybe we should do something for the trailer hitch. Daggum, big decisions being made while I'm gone. Made an executive decision here. We're gonna chop her right down the middle. How's it feel?
Waste of good paint. Dang it, man. It might be exactly 28 pounds.
All right, 176.
Yeah. 175, I thought.
No, I saw 176.
Oh, I was about to spin a burn.
Oh, 30 pounds. A hard earned. Actually, it was kind of easy to get 30 pounds, so.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, I was out finishing up a street tune. These guys are making some executive decisions and cutting all sorts of stuff up.
We had the transfer case laying in here earlier, and we're gonna just notch out here, and then this we're actually gonna start sectioning back in, but we can't do that until we get the transfer case hooked to the transmission that's gonna go in here.
Gotcha. It's a little bit more notching, but I mean, it's nice that we're gonna try and recycle as much as possible.
Well, you got all these nice bends and stuff in here. It'd be so hard to recreate that.
Yeah.
And they do, each one strengthens it a little bit, where a flat sheet would be not near as strong.
True. Next big thing to tackle is going to be the firewall. That looks like a challenge.
We need to figure out our placement of our steering shaft and our downpipes off the turbos, because we might have to come into this section right here.
Yeah.
And then recreate that, which, since we're going to be sitting further back,
no problem.
That shouldn't be an issue at all.
The noodle can be our downpipe here.
That was our steering shaft.
I was it, and the noodle was the steering shaft? Okay.
But if you want a noodle downpipe,
World's first steering noodle.
flexible. Downpipe lower like this?
No, we're definitely thinking that that's going to have to be filleted up right there. The way that everything was going and where our downpipe needs to go and the the look that we're after and the way everything's going to be tied together, this isn't going to come apart. Hopefully it doesn't have to come apart at any time, but we definitely believe that we're going to have to cut into the cab. I mean, the more, you know, it became more apparent.
We need to make more room so if we do decide to go bigger turbos down the road,
Yeah.
we have room for that.
So I mean, the size piping of what we're using, it's almost inevitable that we're going to have to go into that cavity right there. That looks totally awesome. All right, so guys, that was our flipped upside down manifolds, the factory exhaust manifolds off of a ZL1. All right, the mystery of what's in there.
We're tied on there. Ready to go through that.
I'll have to take that guy off. See, I would think that that would be like an inside of the vent. All right, we got a mystery here. So I used to put a bunch of shifters in Corvettes, and this should be about the same style cup or receiver in there. Oh yes, it is. Oh yeah, perfect.
Brute force.
Hell yeah. All right, so we should probably be able to use a Corvette shifter for that, like an old style C5 shifter. Hell yeah, man. All right, I'm gonna go figure that out right now. So that's a brass bushing. The other one is normally a plastic bushing.
Yeah.
Those are so hard to find, man.
The brass bushings?
The plastic ones, because they always go with the shifter. Let's go on a little, I'm gonna go on a little hunting trip here. This should do it. Actually, the mounting point is gonna be a little bit of a problem. All right, so this is a big moment of truth here. We don't know exactly how this offset is gonna work on the C5 Z06 wheel. Dude, that actually really looks not that much different. It's definitely more inbound some. I mean, we expected it to be a lot more inbound, but maybe we just got a lot meaner. Oh yeah. Oh, let's do the front, let's do the front! So our brakes are gonna space that out just a little bit more there.
Can't run the caps.
Yeah, I see that. That axle sticks out really, really far.
Oh yeah, these lug nuts in.
Okay, so big mystery here on the brakes that we got. Don't know if those are gonna work with our C5 Z06.
Oh, well, I'm gonna have to cut the center out a little bit, but that's no problem.
Oh, as far as the hub, like making it hub centric. All right, so first thing, our hub needs to be machined out, well, for the brake, to make that hub centric. You're gonna have to open that up probably, what, 4 or 5 millimeters at least on each side?
Almost out to this black
Yeah,
line.
that's what it looks like. Let's get a measurement on that. Dude, that is a big freaking calipers.
So one thing that's neat is they stagger the piston size, and you can actually see it over here if you come around, Jeremy. You can see the bore size is staggered.
Oh, yeah.
The front is larger.
I didn't notice that.
So it starts at 38 millimeters, middle is 34, back is 30, 67.
All right, so 67, and what we have here, not that bad. It's like 68 or 69.8 or so. All right, so 70 millimeter. We're gonna have to open that up. It's enough.
It looks so much bigger.
So the conclusion is, if you're gonna try and do this, if you're gonna try and run Camaro brakes, you're gonna have to open up the head of the rotor in order to be able to make that work. So,
All right, this is done. Call it done. It's good.
totally structurally, well, sound.
So
Yeah.
this, putting the gas tank back here has a good Ford Pinto effect when you get somebody rear ends you.
No, I don't want to do that.
So maybe, we're going to do another hoop down and under
Okay.
the fuel cell.
I think when we cut it off, I didn't realize. I thought we were just cutting it off and it was going to be gone for good. And I was strangely okay with it.
Well, I mean, we can chop the bed down.
All right, but the reason that we're doing this is basically to hold the tank, though, right? And also, we got to add in the fact that we kind of just devised a idea today, which we got to talk to Josh and remind him about this, is that we need to be able to build in an additional tank. We're going to have a little pup tank for methanol. And we're going to probably do, it's roughly a 4-gallon or so. I think we got the dimensions. I wanted to say it was a 4 by 24 by 9.5 with a sweep to it. So 9 inch on one side, 10 inch on the bottom. Rear sump facing. So
You're either going to be able to come off the side of the tank, you'll have room there, but you need to factor in that this is an aluminum fuel tank. You can't have an aluminum tank for methanol.
right.
So you got to go stainless steel, and they'll just be bolted together with some tabs.
Okay. Our aluminum fuel cell is coming in, and it's a big no-no to have methanol in an aluminum tank, and I kind of totally forgot that. Stainless steel tank, but those are the dimensions is that we had. It was a 4-inch by 24 by 9.5, and that is about 3.9 gallons, I believe is what it came out to. All right, well, we got a lot of things to figure out still. but we're knocking things out one by one. George, I love the wheels there. So these are Uncle Sam's old wheels. It definitely, the offset sucked in the tire a little bit more. So what do you think?
Oh, dude, I love it.
Well, I mean, we were like, what kind of offset should we end up with? You think maybe like a 2-inch or something like that? Or I mean, a 2-inch spacer, sorry.
It is pretty much right where it was at.
Yeah, it really makes me want to be like, hey, can we turn these into like a 13-inch wheel, you know, and then just cut them all up, cut the barrels, and that'd be so sick. All right, so I'm all about recycling some of these parts as much as we can. These were our factory front bump stops, and they do have a threaded, you know, stud right there. So with that, we can put right in there, and that was our plan when the guys from JSM took it off. That is going to hopefully utilize what we need right there, so we don't have to buy another one, or
You know, we can either pick up another spring perch to get a flat spot for it to sit on, so it's not just lining up with the axle tube.
limiting our travel, and that should work pretty good, I think. So this guy right here, this was kind of a locator for the shifter. That guy goes right in that brass bushing right there. I'm gonna take this greasy part off, or stick that in there. We should be able to make some sort of adapter in order to be able to make a C6 shifter right there. That should work. We just might have to make an adapter for spacing that guy out. This is actually a cut down C5 shifter, and I don't know if we're going to be able to get that to give on that brass bushing. Maybe. We got to be able to, because that other one came off. I guess if we jam on it hard enough. All right, so somehow or another we'd have to adapt something in order to be able to make that work. But the position of where you'd be sitting, yeah, that might be... that might not work. Now the other shifter... This tail shaft is not going to be here, is what we're arriving at. That's going to basically...
That's getting switched out for the Corvette section.
Right.
So you're going to lose those mounting ears.
So we might actually need to have some sort of dog leg. We were just mentioning that, and... Ugh, all right. It is what it is. I was thinking we were going to, you know, somehow do that, but yeah, I totally forgot that we're going to be, you know, that's going to be different. But I was excited the fact that we could be able to get this thing to work, so... Yeah, driven many a shifter that's kind of like, you know.
Just going off the brief measurements real quick, it looks like right there. And we can do some flank ears off of this and make that happen.
All right, so this is the Camaro shifter that we got from the gentleman down the road that we got the brakes from. He said, hey, just take that shifter. I was like, okay. Now, because we are not having that tail shaft, this is the Corvette tail shaft. This is what it's going to look like. However, this is going to be our transfer case. So this will remain the same. Now, we might have to grind into that, you think? Or are you just saying we need to... Because this...
is going to reference height.
Okay, so this is what moves that shaft, which is in the center. All right, which will be down something like, well, about right there. Something like that. Okay. Well, if we can make it work, hell yeah. That's pretty awesome. So, I mean, just welding in 2 bosses, basically, right? Think we'll get it done? All right, let's make it happen. Let's put a couple 2x4s in. Let's put the Kirky in. 2x4s in a Kirky. Laz, you're outvoted. Don't scratch them. Scratch it! We gotta get an idea where this thing's gonna be. I want closure here.
Do I fit in these Kirkies?
Laz, I don't know what to tell you, buddy.
There's a will, there's a way.
Kirky stretcher.
Kirky stretcher. I really wanted to get some sort of closure on the shifting situation here. And the seat position. So bear in mind, our roll bar is inbound. And, well, that is crazy back, man. It's really funny to think about, though, the fact that we're using an extended cab and we're using the cab as our main.
It's probably going to have to go
The height
higher.
might need to be a little bit higher, yeah. What if we got another set of...
Is that 2x4s?
Yeah. 2x4? Oh, yeah, that's perfect. Adjustability. I like it.
Oh, you want to take it for a spin, boss?
Yes, sir. I do. I really do.
I think that might be too.
Wait.
It might be a little high, but at the same time...
Yeah,
By the time you put a helmet on.
Yeah, but at the same time, by the time we have the mount and where we got to have the drive shaft and how we're talking about raising up the floor, we thought about 4 inches. Now, that's a bit more than 4 inches, but that's just the floor. When you talk about the mount and stuff, too, I don't know. You didn't tighten the bolts. Ugh.
Oh, yeah. Your front.
Plus visibility.
This is weird.
So far back.
This is like driving from the back seat, though. I mean, really, it's like a...
You wipe the windshield? Like there's
No,
something on there.
it's like you can barely... I can't kick the windshield, for real. There we go. Yeah, no, I got it. See, everybody who thinks that I'm really, really short when I stand next to Cletus, he's 6'6", okay? I'm 6 foot, 180 pounds. Not that short. But this is definitely, to get the perspective, the seating position here is like, it probably couldn't be much more perfect. So yeah, unfortunately we're not going to have 3 seats. We were hoping to be able to do that, but man, I think we just swallowed up all the room. Plus where the cage is going to have to be, we're going to run out of room fast. I mean, You wouldn't have thought that, and everybody's like, oh, it'd be so much cooler in a short cab. But no way. Like, it's way better because we've been able to move the engine so far back and we still have a cab, but we've definitely ate up so much of that space. Yeah, I think this Camaro shifter right here that'll do the job. If we can make that thing work, and I'm gonna be sitting basically on the drive shaft, and my arm would almost be resting on part of the transfer case there. So hell yeah, that's really, really sharp.
You're not going to gain that much height by the transfer case.
Yeah.
Because you're at that 4-degree angle there, so it's slowly sloping down.
Okay.
So I think it's just going to have like a small hump there. It won't be an armrest.
All right. Gonna need a couple cup holders. So you know what, though, we were talking about where would we put an aqueduct. I think we should have an aqueduct going right here, or like maybe that one going right here, and then right into my face, because we're not going to have AC, and then this one going into the passenger's face over there.
Go ahead and pull these to ditch them for planning on Lexan.
I think so. That one's got to go too, so if we do Lexan, that'll work pretty good. Close that real quick. So we don't have our mirrors on there either. That perspective is going to be very, very bizarre as well. Really, this is like driving from the back seat.
You have this dash coming back any distance. To get your steering wheel where it needs to be, entering and exiting this vehicle with the sidebar.
Yeah, we got to be able to have a removable steering wheel, no doubt about it. And then the door bar right here is going to be a situation for sure. Normal roll bar stuff would have this coming down right here all the way down there. And that's going to be difficult to get into, especially if all this stuff is going to be moved back here. Yeah, it's going to be, there's a lot to figure out. I mean, for sure, this is a different animal, for sure, man.
You almost need the later model that has the little back doors that flip open like suicide doors.
Yeah. This is getting crazier by it's like, yeah, we put the engine back 9 inches. It's only just a couple more steps. Yeah, no, it's like 27 more steps.
See, I'm about 6'1 3/4", 175. I don't care what that skill set.
176. Well, you actually came down a little bit more, I think. I think when you sat on that seat, it came down. Yeah, you look small in there. Looks like you're about 12. Well, I took my dad's car for a ride. It's going to be really weird having that pillar right there and not being able to see to the side. It's definitely, dude, seriously, like, it's a weird experience, though, if you can really wrap your head around it. Lower's better.
Well, I guess you got all these other windows you can look out of.
Yeah.
Oh, lads, you could totally fit comfortably in here.
Not in the Kirky, though.
That's the plan. Well, those are the same Kirkys in the Caprice, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Once I'm in them, they're fine.
Okay.
It's those BMW seats that are attractive.
Yeah.
It's that getting in and getting out part.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed that. We are tackling issue after issue, unforeseen thing after unforeseen thing, but that's the way that it goes, and I'm so excited to be able to do that. This thing's going to offer so many different challenges, and we are up to do it. Now, LS Fest is rapidly approaching. I mean, we've got maybe 2.5 weeks to really have this thing fired up and running. But guys, we're going to do our best to make that happen. So thank you guys for watching. God bless you. We'll see you next episode. See that spot? It's like, Norman, you're a star. You're a star, Norman.